Man, it is so nice to talk to you. I know back in the day, obviously, we're just talking about the fact that Orphan Black. I mean, I love seeing you in that show, but this Better Call Saul is just such an amazing journey for this character. Uh, Tell me, for you, starting out and where the characters come now, what has that journey been like for you as an actor?
Well, first of all, thank you so much. I feel very, very blessed and very grateful, and it fills me up with a sense of responsibility. I've been given such amazing opportunities in my career, and I've worked with such really incredible people and had the good fortune to learn so much. The journey as an actor has been incredible. I think for actors out there who are aspiring to work or who are struggling, I can tell you hard work really pays off. It doesn't always pay off the way you think it will. Life takes you in twists and turns and ups and down. But in hindsight, you look back and you go, wow, it really makes a difference when you persevere, when you keep loving your heart and a positive attitude. It's so important. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the fact that I had read some interviews that you've done over the course of the series, and the fact that you were talking about kind of your luck in the sense that the character was going to be kind of a big bad early on, and then they changed direction. Uh, can you talk a little bit about the fact that you've been given this chance to create a much more compelling story arc, really, than what most big bads or anything else get?
Thank you so much. I have to give a lot of credit to the writing. From my part, I think I was really interested in playing an iconoclastic character. I was interested in representing that part of the world. Usually brown folks or Hispanic folks that are in these kinds of like Western type worlds are always represented as bad guys, or but bad guys you kind of cheer for. And I thought, what if we went deeper and we turned that around and we gave this guy, the strongest moral core of all the characters on the show. And that really came when my relationship with the actor who plays my father, Juan Carlos Cantu, was established. Immediately, that character, the Nacho's father, was the most virtuous character in the whole Breaking Bad universe. And that immediately informed us on who Nacho is. And it's this beautiful story about a guy who rises up and becomes a big boss in the cartel and basically has a change of heart. He wants to do the right thing. He wants to leave the cartel, but his father's life is being threatened, and he's working as a double agent, and he wants nothing more but to save his father and get away from this bad life, which makes for a really compelling character and story.
Well, and the idea of redemption is not, it's something we see for main characters sometimes, and sometimes used as a foil for the end of a series and things like that. But it does feel like he's been flirting with this, I guess, here and there. Is your hope, or I know you probably can't say much about the final season, but I mean, is there hope for redemption for him in a bigger way?
Well, that's a really good question, and it's a bit of a philosophical question. Do we ever get to really kind of wash ourselves from our sins? The great thing about this character is that, like you said, he's been wanting to get out from the very beginning. He doesn't enjoy this. We've never actually seen him enjoy this. So his desire and his soul in wanting to do the right thing and leave the dark side and get into the light are pure. It's just that his father's life is in jeopardy. His father refuses to run, refuses to leave, and Nacho's got this sort of samurai attitude where he won't turn to the cops. That's the one thing he won't do. Now the big season, this final operatic, larger than life season that we're gonna present April 18 is just, the writers did such an incredible job. The directors, I mean, it was just like everybody brought it, and it's the finale. It's the conclusion. And for all the diehard Breaking Bad fans and all the diehard Better Call Saul fans, they can finally sit on the same couch and eat the same popcorn. And it's going to be, it's just fireworks.
Well, I know people are very excited to see how his story wraps up. That deals with the fact that we don't see him in Breaking Bad. We hear that one mention of him, but yeah, I mean, I'm very curious to see how this all wraps up.
Oh, thank you, man. It's just been such an incredible joy, and the love that I got from all the fans from around the world, and the love that they outpour on social media or on when you cross them on the street or whatever has just been really life changing for me, and I can't wait for them to see it. And it's just what it was just a wonderful ride.
Well, speaking about what we can talk about, did you have a favorite moment from season 5 that you thought kind of helped cement this journey, I guess, for the character?
That's a tough question to answer because to me, it's like the character from season 1 to season 6 is like a canvas, and every season you're adding a layer, or you're adding a color, or you're putting the final touches on it. So it's hard to say. For me, you have to look at it in its entirety, and that's the portrait. So I think the portrait really is finished in season 6, and then you can look at it as a whole. So it's hard to pick a specific color from the painting. You got to look at it as a whole.
Well, then more from the perspective as an actor across the 5 seasons so far, have you had a favorite moment in terms of getting the opportunity to do something that you haven't done before, you dreamed of doing? Or I mean, there's quite a bit of interesting action, if nothing else.
It's again, you're making me have to choose. If you had a gun to my head and you said you got to choose right now, I would say season 6 is by far my favorite. If I had to choose, I would say this is the season, because it's the season that it's the finishing touch. It's you get to know who this guy is, what he's about, what matters to him, and how serious he is. He's a tragic, heroic, and very romantic character who really believes in this ideal of love that is represented in his father, who plays sort of like a saint figure in his life. And I just think it's beautiful for a character to be capable to do bad, but to never enjoy it and never want to do it ever, 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 never be tempted by it, and to do everything he can to steer away from it at the risk of his own life. I think in TV, we have a lot of characters now that are kind of enjoying being bad or being twisted or whatever. And I just think I like that character. I think we need more heroes that are really trying to do the right thing in a complex world and are serious about it. They're genuine about it. And that's what I love the most about this character.
And nuance as well, because we get some great characters across the board in film and TV, but real nuance in a lot of long running characters is sometimes missing, really.
Oh, thank you so much. The opportunity I get with this character is it's a character that speaks very, very rarely. So you get these pockets of moments where you can fill it with so much subconscious and so much energy. And that to me has been a really wonderful journey to explore. It's like, how do you go deep and invite people in? And how do you basically open up your heart and your soul and let the audience see inside? And that was just a really wonderful treat. Very much like a Western,
right.
There's like a Western silent film to it, like those sort of old samurai films. It's got something really great like that to it.
Well, I mean, is that kind of part of the fun and challenge of the character, in that you do say a lot in scenes where you're not even saying that much, that you're really it's a lot of facial acting, I guess.
I would call it a lot of it's like being. I think acting at its ultimate is being. Talking they're like a clutch. It's like people can't feel what we want to communicate, so we use our words to be clear but at the essence of it, acting is being. So when you strip away the words, you have no clutch, you got no crutch, you got nothing else to lean on. You're either there and truthful, or you're not. So I think it's the ultimate frontier in a way, where you have no security net, and you're either there or you're not. And I love that. I love walking that tightrope. I love that roller coaster ride. it's been a character I carried around for 6 years, and boy, I didn't know how heavy he was on me until we finally let it go, and I was like, wow, that occupied so much space in my heart and in my soul and in my mind. And I love him so much. I think I'm saying it, and it's kind of, it's not a real person, but I love what he represents. It again is very tragic and romantic, heroic and brave. I like that.
And I mean, is it difficult saying goodbye to both a set, a cast, a character? I mean, was
Uh,
that difficult?
You know what? I would say yes and no. I think it was difficult because you realize it's over, and but the good thing is these guys are all my friends, and we're still in touch. And also, I just love the way it was finished. It surprised me. I when we started off, I thought this guy was going to be a guy who's an ambitious young guy who wants to be the boss of the cartel. And at the end, he becomes like even higher than he ever expected. But he doesn't want any of it. And it actually becomes a moral story about someone trying to do the right thing. And then at the end of it, there's a twist. And I finally, like you say, you put the finishing touches on the painting and you go, oh my God, that's what this guy is. That's what it's about. And I wouldn't change anything. I just feel very lucky to have played this beautiful character. When we first meet him, he saves the lives of 3 people in the desert, and I can't wait for people to see when the last scene he's in, whatever it is, whether he runs away or any. I'm not saying anything, but it's just so interesting to see how it ends up,
Hmm.
and it's just exciting.
Well, before I get to another topic I want to discuss, what is your hope for what comes next? What do you want to do next, or what can you say about that, I guess?
My team is talking about some really exciting stuff right now. So stuff that unfortunately I can't say. It's all
Of
under wraps.
course.
But it's very big, very exciting, and we'll see which direction we'll go. I'm developing as well a TV show, and I'm interested in all different genres. I like sci-fi, I like westerns, I like thrillers. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm open. We'll see. I mean, who knows? We'll see.
Well, the thing I'm still crossing my fingers for is Scorpion in Spider-Man, because like
Right.
we get this tease at the end of the first film,
Yeah.
and then we haven't seen him since. So, you must be dreaming of being able to do more Scorpion, I'm assuming.
I think those guys at Marvel are wonderful. I have total faith in them that they know what they're doing, and they'll tell the world when they're ready. What when they call for me, I think people will know, and they'll tell the world whenever that is. I'll be there.
Well, I love too the potential for that character, because he ties in with Venom at one point in the comic books, and there's just so many options for him. So my fingers are crossed for you, because I would love to see that.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Scorpion's a cool character, so yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's it for me. Is there anything you want to share that people should know?
I just think it's a time right now where people are a little bit nervous, and there's a lot of stuff that we've been through as a family, as a human family, and I just want to tell people out there, for whatever it's worth, that they're loved and they're appreciated, and the sky isn't falling on us. Even though the world seems absolutely crazy, I think there's still hope. I think people still love each other, and I believe goodness will win.
That's an amazing message. Well, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you.